Hello everyone, it's Sunny here guys, and today I have come back again with a new video. And yes, in this video I'm not going to impart you any tips and tricks that will help you to brush up your English level. You heard it right, because I have already imparted you many tips in my previous videos. So yes, you can just watch those videos, and yes, you can get to know about many tips and tricks which will help you to brush up your English level. You heard it right. And yes, you might be thinking that what is going to be really very special in this video. So guys, all in all, I'm going to motivate you in this video. And yes, my way of motivating will be very different from others, because you have been hoodwinking yourself for a very long time. I don't know why. You Whenever you go for learning, you think that what's the hurry, I can do it after 1 month, after 2 months, what's the hurry. You have been making excuses from yourself for a very long time. I don't know why. So all in all, you have to take a stand for yourself today. And yes, after watching this video, what you have to do, you have to start your journey, you have to start learning. Because let's take example. If you had started your English journey 3 months back, then today you would be able to speak good English. You'd be able to speak English to some extent where you could do conversation with anybody. But you didn't start, unfortunately. And yes, today you are just same like before. So why not are you taking steps? And yes, you are thinking that if you are one who is thinking that after 3 months, after 4 months, like within 3 months or 4 months, you will be able to speak English, you will be able to become better at English. Definitely it is not going to happen at all. It is the biggest myth that our society tells you. And yes, even there are many coaching institutes claims that you will be able to speak English, very better English spoken after 3 or 4 months. It is not going to happen at all. It is not piece of cake. It is, it is rocket science. So what you have to do, you have to dedicate yourself, you have to determine yourself into this language. Until you involve yourself fully into it, you are not going to get good consequence of it. And yes, when it comes to me, when I started English learning for very first time, then it was really getting very difficult for me to speak even a single sentences. I had nothing in my mind. My mind was totally blank. Still, somehow I did so much hard work. And yes, the hard work is the reason, as for proof, you can see I'm making videos in English language. And yes, I'm totally free for doing conversation with anybody. And yes, I feel very confident while talking to anybody. So yes, all in all, it is the game of practice, it is the game of mindset. And yes, I have met with many people who are saying that, who had told me that they come from that background where is no surrounding far and wide, where they can't get any guidance who can guide them better, so that they can brush up their English level. And yes, they can learn English speaking to some extent. Guys, one thing, I come from that background where there is no any person who speaks English in my village. Still I did so much hard work. And yes, the hard work is the reason I'm making videos. And yes, I'm motivating you. So please don't make excuses. You have already made so many excuses from yourself. And yes, hoodwinked yourself for many times. So please take a step. And yes, uh, there is a two scenario I have divided today in this video. The first scenario is that I am considering you that you are a person who doesn't know even single sentences of English, but you have big desire, you have big curiosity to learn this language, to become perfect at this language. And there is a second scenario in which I'm considering you that you are good to some extent in terms of speaking English. You are good to some extent, you can just do conversation with anybody freely. So yes, if you are coming from these two scenarios, if your English level is matching with these two scenarios, then definitely you can watch this video till end. And yes, you are going to get worth of watching this video. Okay, so let me tell you, if you are coming from first scenario, who have no surrounding, being a beginner, you don't have anything in your mind, but you have guts, you have desire. So okay, let me tell you what you have to do initially. Okay, you are coming from that background where there is no surrounding. So initially, the first and foremost thing you need to do, that is you need to consume a lot of content in English. What you have to do, you have to consume a lot of content in English. And yes, what kind of content you will need to watch. You have, I think you might have heard that, many times, that you need to watch native speakers if you want to become fluent at English. Guys, not at all. Initially, if you are very beginner, you don't need to watch any hard content which will be very hard to understand you. Okay, so what you have to do initially, you need to watch normal stories, normal conversation, which will be very easy to understand you. And moreover that, the second thing on which you need to do focus, that is grammatical part. Many times I have told in my many videos, initially you need to learn basic grammar. And what are the things comes under basic grammar? Because I have heard from many mouths that what are the things comes under basic grammar. When we go for learning grammar, then we get many things, plenty of things. So what are the things on which we need to do focus in terms of starting our journey? When we are starting our journey, I would like to tell you, I would like to clear you what are the basic grammar on which you need to do focus initially. The first thing is that tenses. Tenses is the mother of speaking English. Tenses is the mother of spoken English. If you don't know tense, then you are not going to make even simple sentences. So make sure that please learn tenses, and yes, do masters in tenses, because tenses are not very hard thing. It is very easy thing. Until you implement it, after learning so many structures, until you implement it, you will be forgotten. So please implement it as much as you can. Okay. And more about that, I would like to tell you the third thing on which you need this like second thing on which you need to do focus, that is models. Models means, what is models means? Models means should have, could have, may have, might have, these kind of things comes under models. And yes, the sentence you can't create by the help of tenses, you can create those sentences by the help of models. So yes, what you have to do, you have to learn first tenses, thereupon models. And moreover that, the third thing on which you need to do focus, that is practice. Practice is the most important thing I would like to tell you, because I have seen many people who are just doing work physically, who are just writing something sentences, and yes, writing their thoughts on notebook, but not they are not just implementing it in their daily life. I don't know why. Because until you implement it, you are not going to learn it, you are not going to become perfect at English. So make sure that as much as you can practice, please practice. And yes, you might be thinking that, you might be getting a question in your mind that where can I do practice? I come from that background where nobody speaks English, even my friends doesn't speak English, there is no any family member who speaks English. I'm telling you guys, if you are thinking like that, then you are thinking like a moron. Nowadays, plenty of applications are free without paying even a single penny. You can make the most of those applications. You can just do conversation with co-learners. Like, there are many things, there are many applications. And yes, if you will comment down below this video, definitely I would like to tell you about application names in my next videos. And yes, so what you have to do, you can just install any application. There are plenty of application free of cost nowadays trending on social media, and yes, people are using in order to achieve fluency. So why not using those application? Okay. Moreover that, what you have to do, yes, if you are coming from second scenarios in which you have reached to some extent where you can do conversation, you need to upgrade your English level, right? Okay, all right, I'm telling you what you have to do. If your English level is matching from second scenario, you have to purchase a book in which I think more than 5,000, 6,000 daily life conversations and sentences should be contained. So where will you get these kind of books? You can just go on Google, and yes, you can just search there. I want English conversation books as well as English sentences books, more than 10,000, 5,000. And yes, you can just purchase those books. And yes, you can just purchase one book, one of them. There are many books you will get there, but you can just purchase one of them. And yes, it is not very costly, it is very cheap. It is you can just get in very cheap price. And yes, when you get those books, so what you have to do, you have to read every day new sentences. And yes, whenever you are getting any unique sentence, what you have to do, you have to make that sentences in different format, and you have to implement in your conversation, so that you can get to know about every single sentences of daily life, every single sentences of vocabularies that we use in our daily life. Yes, you heard it right. So you have to do this thing. And yes, you need to do practice as much as you can, because you have got to know the approximate idea how English works. And yes, you have reached to some extent. So yes, never give up. If you'll give up meanwhile your journey, so you are going to forget every single thing. So please don't do it. And yes, this is all about this video, guys. This video is getting longer. And yes, I have never made this much longer videos in my YouTube history. And yes, this is all about this video. In next video I would like to tell you something, a very different idea. And yes, till then, bye bye guys, let's meet in another videos.